How's it going, everyone? Pink Droyd here. This is my very first video for my YouTube channel that I just started. I did one production live stream the other day and I loved it. And I've been wanting to get on YouTube for a while. It's one of my favorite resources and I feel I could be a huge contributor to it. So I figured, you know, screw it. I'm going in 100% and I'm gonna try and build a whole channel around production. So first, let me make a little introduction. Again, my producer name is Pink Droyd, but my name is Cam. No one ever calls me Pink Droyd ever in public. When they do, it makes me feel really weird. Don't even, you know, no, just close friends, people who don't know me, everything, just Cam. Pink Droyd goes on the album art or the, you know, hopefully show lineup soon. I've got a few coming up at least. But yeah, I'm Cam anyway, that's where I was going with that. I've been producing for, it'll be 3 years in Christmas. It's only been really serious for about probably I'd say around a year and a half. I've been going really hard into it and actually starting to see it as a career opportunity and believing that I could actually pursue this. I make bass music mostly, dubstep. I'm a big dubstep fan. When I first started, I made a lot of like hip hop beats and stuff. I never actually produced for someone, but that's what I mainly made, like a lot more like chilled out stuff. Well, actually, truth be told, like when I first started, that was really the music I wanted to make, like really chilled out, emotional kind of like music, very melodic, a lot of like, you know, crazy chord progressions and bright sounds, or like really slow and trippy kind of stuff. But as I progressed and I got deeper into the actual scene itself, I came across bass music at festivals, and you know, I had the same phase everyone did in like 9th grade, maybe even a bit before that, where I loved Skrillex and like the dubstep that was around then, like all the remixes of popular songs on YouTube. Admittedly, as fads changed and everything in high school and things became cool that weren't cool and vice versa, I left it behind. I thought it was, you know, whatever. To be honest, I wasn't even a huge dance music fan until my last couple of years of high school. I was in love with classic rock as a kid. I love old school hip hop. There's a good amount of new rap that I like too, but not a lot of it is anything that's like really in the mainstream. I love like underground hip hop, kind of, if anyone's familiar, like sad boy style stuff too, like the more like, some people would call it emo rap. I really like that. It kind of reminds me of alternative rock and grunge, which is another one of my big influences. Basically, I'm a music lover. I love all music. That's where I draw my influences from. So currently I go to a school called the Metalworks Institute in Mississauga, Canada, which is where I live right now. It's just a suburb outside of Toronto. If anyone's never heard of it. Grew up in a really small town where there was no sort of really music scene or art culture. You know, growing up, it was be good at hockey or maybe be good at lacrosse, be good at the other seasonal sport. You know, it was really not a place where I ever felt like I would ever be doing anything like this. I liked guitar as a kid. I loved music, but when it came to actually becoming an artist, I really didn't ever consider that. Fortunately, in high school, I moved to a bigger city and ended up kind of meeting some more artistic kids, or kids who are really into different, you know, cultures. Because growing up in, I swore, I gotta try not to swear. Growing up in a really small town with, you know, it wasn't very culturally diverse. You know, it was a lot of, you know, like not to take anything away from it, but I never saw, you know, other ways to be. It was always just like, you know, what me and my friends were like in that small town. So moving to the city definitely broadened my horizons, and there were quite a few kids in the city that I moved to that when I was in high school were pursuing music, typically in hip hop and production as well, which I never even considered. You know, I always dreamed of being a rock star or whatever when I was a kid, but you know, I quickly gave up on it when I didn't practice hard enough at guitar, and I got really frustrated that, after playing for 2 hours a week, I wasn't able to play Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. So after that, like as a little kid, the dreams of ever being like an artist of any sort kind of went away, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in high school, but I saw these kids who were like doing it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But all I could think about was, if I try and do something like that, well, first of all, I'll suck at that. I'm not good at that. But second, the one that I probably cared about the most was, what are all the other kids going to say? Because, the kids at that time who were, brave enough as a teenager, shout out to them. I wish I had that, who were brave enough to just be themselves and be like, this is what I want to do and pursue that. They got a lot of ridicule. People were savage, and I mean, it still goes on to now. I've accepted it. You're gonna get people who, just see you as some loser from whatever town you grew up in who's trying to, be a big DJ. Like, get your head out of the clouds, get a real job, go to trade school, whatever. So yeah, I was so scared. I can't do that. What are people gonna say about me? What are people gonna think about me? So I never tried pursuing it in high school or anything until I graduated, and my mindset kind of changed after a lot of things, traveling being one of them, and I really, knew that I had to pursue something that I loved music, and I saw those kids who were producing and stuff in high school, and I'm like, that's cool, I wish I could do that. So I started getting into it, and started like figuring out, what actually producing was, because to me, when I heard the word producer, I pictured, some fat bald dude in a sweet suit with a big necklace in a studio yelling demands at the engineer, and, probably like, I pictured them as like a behind the scenes guy. I didn't know that what producing has now evolved into was, it's composition, it's arrangement, it's sound design, it's engineering, it's marketing, it's being your own manager, it's so many things. I didn't understand that's what it was, so I figured it all out, and this is when I started liking electronic, and I figured, naively enough, as a lot of people do think when they hear electronic music, oh, this is simple, anyone can do this. So I was at a festival, and I was hearing a song, and I thought that to myself, surely this can't be this hard, and it turns out that was the dumbest thing I've ever said, because 3 years later, here I am putting all of my work into trying to sound as good as all the people playing festivals, and I'm not there yet. So, and that brings me to my my next thing, why I started this channel. I love YouTube. I love production channels. It's probably the biggest resource I've used over the entire time I've been learning how to produce. Like people like anyone who's a producer who might know these people, Wubbix, Shane from Rocket Powered Sound, Alex Rome, he's a Logic guy, he works in Logic, which for people who don't know, it's a digital audio workstation program you make music in. He was like the person who taught me Logic, which was the first program that I worked in, basically. Like, I learned a lot from him. Like, I remember sitting in my bedroom, like on my laptop, and like just like those were the videos I was watching, because like those were the very first things that were teaching me. So, and I was just like, I'd get so frustrated because I wasn't able to make what I wanted to hear in the program. I expected it to be so easy. So that's where it really started out, watching his. But so yeah, I love the YouTube production community and everything. But the reason I wanted to start my own channel was because while all those guys are awesome, I feel like what I was looking for when I was, earlier on as a producer was someone almost a little closer to myself. Because as cool as it is to go on and, watch these guys pump out, a dubstep drop that could be signed to any major label and they made it in 10 minutes, that's super cool, and you do learn things. I've learned so many things from all these guys. Like Moonboy, another one, probably the most notable YouTube bass music production guru at the moment. He blew up on YouTube, and now he's, doing signings to some of the biggest labels in dance music. Guys like that are so good, those prodigies, which I don't think I am. I think I'm a lot more average, and I think that in watching how I work, I feel like a lot of people will be able to actually learn a lot because I'm always learning while I'm working. I don't want anyone to think that I've made this channel because I think I'm the best producer and you should follow everything I say and these are the rules to producing, and if you want to be a big producer and make $1 million and be the next big DJ, this is how you produce. Because right now I'm talking into a $30 microphone that I bought from China, which is sitting on my homemade mic stand that I made out of a wire coat hanger, and I have my MacBook webcam recording me and a UV lamp on my face. I'm in no means, I haven't made it, I'm not a professional, but I think that I could be that sort of place to go for kids who are really trying to learn, who it might have taken them longer to learn enough to get to where they knew that they needed to learn some more advanced things. Whereas watching someone as myself who doesn't seem so perfect or that good, they might resonate with me more and almost not learn better, but it just might be a cool way of going on and learning kind of more at your own speed, as opposed to these guys who are straight up professionals, and they just know it like the back of their hand. I feel like I could make it a bit more of a personal interaction when people come and view my things. So basically, this channel is going to be production tutorials, although I don't want to call them tutorials because then I feel like I'm saying that this is how you do something. More like it's just going to be concept videos of what I'm doing. You can come watch them, take from them what you will. One thing I would love is if someone who's better than me watches one of my videos and notices that I'm doing something, I don't want to say wrong, but in a less efficient way, or maybe flat out wrong. There are things that you can do wrong, and I know I still commit some of those errors. If you see those things, to comment and tell me, likewise, people can take what they want from it. You come and you might learn a cool thing. Basically, I just want to, I really want to interact with those producers who might be where I was kind of a year ago, when I was really feeling like, oh man, it's all so hard. I'm never going to be able to get anywhere, to where I am now, where, I know I'm not the best producer in the world by any stretch. I still only have barely 100 Soundcloud followers, and, I'm lucky to hit 500 plays on a song. I'm really nobody when it comes to it. But, to where I am now is a stage where I have actually been able to notice that this is achievable. As much as talent plays a role in artistic ability and being able to make music, I think that one sort of advantage producers have, not to say that you don't need, a good musical basis, but you can learn how to get really good. There's a lot of kids out there who are just crazy tech savvy computer kids who, probably couldn't write a song on a guitar, but can write crazy music on a computer because, they've learned the programming of it, and, they learned how it works. And that's one cool thing about production, is that, I don't think you need to be Mozart to be a good producer, and you can learn how to make things sound good. So I'm at the point now where, I'm learning so much, and my music's getting so much better every song. It's improving so much that it's become, kind of apparent to me that this is actually something that I can do, and this is actually something that so many other kids can do. But I feel like it's going to take just as long for them to realize it as it did for me to realize it, and I don't want that. So, I want people to come along and see that, 4 months ago I made a song that was, for all intents and purposes, probably pretty garbage, and my latest release sounds 800 times better. And that's how, much your learning curve can increase. So yeah, we're going to have some production tutorials. I'm going to be live streaming production, maybe do some cool little interesting things like little challenges, or, have a theme for what I'm doing. And then who knows, as it progresses, if I, enjoy YouTube a lot, some vlogs of things that I'm doing, like going to shows, stuff like that, But yeah, anyway, that's 15 minutes of me talking. I know I probably rambled a lot. I take Adderall for my ADD so that my schooling goes well every day because I'm in school, and also it really helps me sit down and focus on my production. So a side effect of that, which you'll probably notice in my videos, is I ramble a lot. I get on a thought, I go on it forever. So I can't fix it. I'm sorry. If I don't take my Adderall, then these videos just aren't going to get made. Also, I might get a little lost sometimes, and that's because here in Canada, weed is legal now, and to kind of get past those crazy hyperactive Adderall effects, I need to smoke a little weed now and then, so sometimes I get a little but it's legal and it's 2018, and if you have something to say about it, you can mail it to my ass. Alright, thanks a lot. I hope these videos help a lot of people, and I can't wait to start sharing more.